I want to approach this conversation with that in mind. I love Jesus. I love the Bible, even when it offends me, even when it confuses me sometimes, maybe even frustrates me. And I find the gospel of the grace of Jesus compelling. The more I consider religion and ultimate truth and the future and so forth, I realize that many or most of the approaches of modern day when it comes to truth and social issues and whatever, pretty much any topic, any major topic, we tend to find ourselves split between two extremes on a spectrum that way, but nobody's perfect. And everybody's good. And everyone should be able to do what they want to do. Because why? We're all human. We're all figuring out. None of us are perfect. Never will be. So the claim of Jesus, the claim of the cross, the claim of the Bible is that there is such thing as a moral standard and people should be held accountable to it. And it's not a sliding scale. It's a all-encompassing absolute scale. Just how absolute though? Just how absolute is that scale, that standard? I don't think we know. I think some of us act like we could know all the ins and out of the perfection of God, but I don't think anyone does. I don't think anyone can. I don't think we know just how far up and down and left and right God's standard is for our lives. But I don't say that in some way to give some comfort to people to say, oh yeah, see, nobody knows, so do whatever. No, we don't like that. We don't like the idea that there's this supreme, omnipotent being who oversees all that we do and holds us accountable. And I'm not saying that as like an indictment to our culture. Like I feel that too. Like I get it. That is a pressure, a heavy thing that can weigh on someone's mind and soul. But the story of Jesus also appeals to the other extreme of our culture. This idea that no one is ever going to be perfect, no matter how much you try. We all need some kindness and grace extended toward us. Every one of us. But just how much grace? How much kindness? In the same way we ask, how much moral standard? How much grace? How much kindness? Well, just as much grace and kindness as there is morality and standard. Absolute grace, absolute kindness. Just like the moral standard of God is not a sliding scale, neither is the grace and kindness of God a sliding scale, but an absolute forgiveness, an absolute grace, absolute mercy and kindness. The cross of Jesus offers absolute grace and kindness while still demanding absolute morality. It's the only way this thing could work. And Jesus finds himself dying and living in that tension. And he removes humans from guilt without removing them from responsibility. And I know that may not mean much to some, but through everything, for me, that has remained quite appealing and moving to me. Intellectually and spiritually, emotionally. Even in the times that I've found it difficult to believe to be true, I've never found it difficult to hope to be true. And I think I can say that. In that sense, I do strongly believe that should be everyone's hope, to make sense of this human experience. That something or someone solves this human conflict, the basic social and personal need of a moral standard, and the basic incapability of humans to ever keep that standard. And I believe Jesus solves that conflict. Grace and peace, fam.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Oh, great block. James out of nowhere.
Huge defensive play by the four-time MVP.